Hello. Hello, everybody. Good afternoon, early evening to some, and afternoon to the others. Come right on in. I hope you're stopping by today. There's Miss Charlene. This is Real Talk with Love. I'm Coach Barbara Perkins, and we are getting ready for our Monday afternoon, Monday evening chat here at Sisters at the Well, Real Talk with Love. I came in a little bit early so that we can start right on time at 7 o'clock here in Atlanta and 4 o'clock for those of you on the West Coast. Hey, Charlene, lady, thank you very much. I'm just delighted to be here. You know, every Monday I get so excited about being here. And so I look forward to this time when we get to talk a little bit. So come on in, everybody. Come on in. When you get here, you know to hit the share button so other folks can join us, right? Hit our share button. I have a little fan I just turned on because it is warm in Atlanta today. We just have the craziest weather. It goes from cold to hot, rain to sunshine. So anyway, here we are. Charlene, how are you, my love? Throw up hearts if you're doing good. It's good to see you. And is the volume okay? Great. All righty. Hey, sweetie pie, Giovanni. How are you? I love you right back. So yeah, we're going to hop in here. Tonight is a different kind of night. Our topic today is awakened by a pandemic. What do you think? Awakened by a pandemic. Because this thing has awakened us in a different kind of way. So I wanted to spend some time talking about that and give you some, I think, exciting news about what we're going to do with that title. So come on in. Hi, Stacy. Come on in. Come on in. Share with a friend or two. Tag somebody. You know, we always come in listening to Brannis, who's singing Sisters at the Well, my theme song, of course, that Brannis wrote for me some almost 10 years ago. Love the song. It's titled Sisters at the Well, at the Well. So we come in every night with Brannis. I'm going to turn her down. We're going to get started. Well, so come on in and share. So listen. Thank you, Brannis. Brannis is out of Oakland, California, by the way. So for those of you who love jazz, she is an amazing jazz songstress, singer, writer, artist. So if you want to check her out, do so. That's Brannis McKenzie. So as I said, our topic tonight is awakened by a pandemic. And Awakened by a Pandemic is the title of my next book. Yay! Awakened by a Pandemic, Coaching Yourself on Survival. That's going to be the title of a new book. I don't know how many of you have any of the books in the series that I started about 7 years ago, and it's called 7 Little Books on Coaching Yourself. And of the 7, I've written 3 already. This would be the 4th book. Hi, Janet, and hi, Chanel. So this would be the 4th book in the series of 7. And it actually came to me just this week, which is why I'm so excited about it. As you know, last Monday I was talking about what do we do with these 26 weeks that we've been gathering like this at this metaphoric well. 30 minutes every Monday, trying to help ourselves get through this pandemic, this environment, this unstable environment that we're in. So for 26 weeks, we've come together. We've talked about everything you could imagine, from fear to grief to survival to, preparing yourself for a legacy and, how to say goodbye differently. It has been some kind of ride we've been on for 26 weeks. So I was thinking about it about 2 weeks ago. What do we do with all of this? And I decided to summarize all of the weeks and put it into a book. Summarize each of the sessions and put it into a book on survival. Thus, you have the title of the new book, Awakened by a Pandemic. And what connect? Give me hearts if it did. I see everybody there, but I'm not sure if you're still there. So give me a few hearts so I can see that you're there. It said system down, and then now it says up. So let me know if you're there. Chanel, are you still there? Wave, everybody. Yes, back in business. This is technology. We don't even stress about it anymore. We just go along with it. And so anyway, here we are. What I was saying is, in this new book, what I'm hoping to do is invite you. If you have a story, something that you've been awakened to, this pandemic has brought something new to you, some major aha, some new lesson, some significant pivot in your life. If that has happened, I want you to share that story with us. And what I'm looking to include at least 10 stories in this new book, Awakened by a Pandemic. I'm looking to put in the new book 10 of your stories. So what I was going to ask you for this evening is put in the thread. Hey, John Hill, put in the thread if you've had, in the course of these 28 weeks that we've been sheltered in, because I count from March 11th. That's when I know California got shut down, and then it started making its way across the country, Oregon and New York, right? And finally, Georgia. We were one of the last states to really shut down. Should have been one of the first ones, but nonetheless. So if there was something that you got, some big aha, some dream reimagined, something that was restored even in your life during this period of time, put in the thread. You don't have to give us all the details, but as much as you want to share, just put in the thread something that we can see and share with each other. I sent this out to my publisher, Willa Robinson, who sometimes joins us, and she may join us tonight. I sent it out to her the other day, and she was so excited about this possibility of this new book and what it really means. And for those of you who remember, we were only maybe 2 or 3 weeks into this when Willa's husband died due to COVID. And we actually lifted a prayer for her on this live. And she got on with us and talked about some of the difficulties. During this pandemic, we had to learn how to say goodbye in a different kind of way. As folks passed on, you couldn't see your family members. You couldn't go to funerals in the same way. And we have, as Black folks, we have our way of honoring our family members in our special ways. And we had to change all of that in this season. That was really difficult. That was very difficult and still continues to be very difficult. Just yesterday, my husband's stepmom is not doing very well, and the call from the hospital was simply to inform the family. It wasn't that usual call that we would get, come to the hospital, right? Come, because they don't say that anymore. So it's a different time that we're in. And we have watched with all the unrest and everything else that's going on, we have watched as mothers and aunties and sisters, right? Grandmothers, we have had to watch our Black men be hunted down and treated so inhumane and literally killed in front of us. And we have had to watch our daughters, Breonna Taylor, we've had to watch the unthinkable and not be able to respond in the way that we are accustomed to. This has been a time of awakening. And it has not been easy. It has been very difficult for us as we watch day after day, as we watch the news of, family members losing their lives and folks on the brink of economic disaster, folks not being able to pay their rent, losing jobs. I mean, it has been absolutely unimaginable. That's what we keep saying. But wrapping our minds around it has been so difficult. And then I take a breath. And when I breathe, I think about today and how good it is that we are here. And this platform allows us to be encouraging for each other. This platform allows us to be able to speak life into some of the parts of us that feels like the life is being taken away from us. Hey, Miss Early, I hope you're feeling okay. We prayed for you this morning. Hi, Angela. But yeah, this is not, so my talk with you tonight is really not to be doom and gloom, but to really talk about that awakening, that moment when we say to ourselves what we know for sure, those of us, those of you who are faith walkers, you know for sure that God is consistent. We know that. He may not always answer our request in the way that we think it ought to be answered, or in the time frame that we think it should be answered. But he is consistent. And we know that based on our past, right? Because yesterday is gone, but we are here today. Tomorrow, we're not sure about. We have no control over that. The same way we had no control over yesterday. But in this day, hey, Marsha, in this day, we can sit in a place of gratitude because we're here, even in the midst of the bad news. That's part of the awakening. This pandemic has moved us to a place where gratitude bubbles up in a new way for us. Gratitude has taken on a much bigger space in our lives. Every day that we wake up, every moment of the day that we can breathe without needing some extra help, we get to say thank you. Hey, if this is resonating with you, I need to see a heart or two. Just like if you were like with me, you'd say, girl, yeah, high five. So Awakened by a Pandemic, which is the title of the new book I'm about to write, I want to put your stories in there. I want you to share with me, with us, all of us, something that has sparked your awakening. How this pandemic, and Marsha, I know there's some new stuff going on in your life. I absolutely know. But what has come up for you that had it not been for this pandemic, maybe it would have been sort of there, but not all the way. You didn't put everything into it. What has come up? Charlene, what has come up for you? You know, if there has been some story, and listen, I'm asking you to submit something if you want to share it. Of course, certainly if you want to share it. You don't have to be a writer to do that. You can simply just send me a note. This has been my awakening. If you are a writer, no more than 600 words. Little stories, 600 words. That's about a page. 500-600 words, one page. Tell us, what was your awakening? Oh, I love it. Charlene says, helping others to grow. And I know you have, because I know the folks who have joined this call because of you. So giving others the opportunity to grow, perhaps in a way that they may not have had before. What a lovely awakening. Hi, Tracy. Glad you're here. So what other awakening stories can you share? Even if you don't want to submit it in a book, just what else? What has happened for you? You know, one of my girlfriends this morning, I was on the phone with her, Kathleen, and she said, for the next 40 days, I decided to do a different kind of fast, right? Because we're in this fasting and praying coming up to the election. And she said, I decided to do a different kind of fast. I'm going to do something that I haven't been doing. I'm going to do something that takes care of my body temple in a way that I haven't done before. I thought that was really different and really new. She said, my body temple is a gift. And she, Kathy, by the way, is a breast cancer survivor, as I am. And we know how this body requires care, right? We know how much care it requires. And so to be able to do that, and she said, I'm awakened by that. That's my new thing, that I want to make sure that in the course of doing everything else that I do in a day, I want to stop and give my physical body some attention. She didn't say I want to exercise, I want to do 5 miles, any of that. She said there's just some way that I'm going to care for me with an intention every day and treat my body like a gift that God has given me. And what do you do with a precious gift? You take care of it. You put it in a special place. You share it. You talk about it. You say thank you for it. So what are your awakenings? What has happened in these last 28 weeks in your life that you wouldn't mind sharing as a story of encouragement to someone else? I can tell you now that the book that I'm writing, Awakened by a Pandemic, Coaching Yourself on Survival, it is going to have everything in there that we talked about over these 26 weeks. It's going to have love. It's going to have forgiveness and grief, anxiety. It's going to have sisterly relationships. It's going to have legacy building. It's going to have acts of kindness. It's going to have resiliency. all of these things. It's going to have intention. It's going to have contentment. These are all topics we've talked about in the last 26 weeks. So this book, and then at the end of the book, I'm going to share your stories. So this is my invitation to you all. Hey, Coralie from the Bahamas. I'm going to ask you, Coralie, to submit a story for the book. And I'm hoping you heard me, but you'll go back through the thread and you'll read it again. I am taking 10 submissions to go into this next book. And I know that there are some amazing inspirational stories that will come out of this. Listen, we didn't go through all of this for nothing. You know, and I shared with somebody today, I was doing another virtual presentation, and I said, God did not restore me from stage 3 breast cancer, from an amazing surgery that I had, that I deal with every day. I have limitations in my limbs, but I am completely restored. And I know that he didn't do that just for me. He did that, or allowed my restoration to happen, so that I can share the story, so that somebody else who perhaps may need to be restored in some way would be encouraged. So God didn't restore me just for me. So I'm not going to sit here and just take my little gift, wrap it up and hide it and, just hold it for myself and my family. I'm going to talk about it. And in this case, I'm going to put it in a book. So yes, Marsha, you were awakened during this pandemic. So share your story with us. Share one of your stories. Coralie says she's going to share one. Yes, yes, yes. Hey, Fluker. Glad you're watching. We're just having a chit chat today. We're talking about what are some of the things that have happened to us and for us during this season, this pandemic. What are some of the huge gratitude moments that we want to share with others? And I'm putting this book together, not just because it's a book for me, but it's a book for us. Thank you, Tracy. So I'm hoping that you all would be as excited to share your story as I am to share your story with me in this 4th book in the series, 7 Little Books on Coaching Yourself. And the previous books, by the way, in that series, one was on marriage, one was on grief, and the last one I wrote, which came out last year, was on betrayal. And now this one is going to be on survival, because Lord knows we are grateful that we survived. We are here today. We don't know about yesterday, don't know about tomorrow, but we stand in full gratitude today, and we are announcing our own awakening. So even if you don't want to share it in a book, write it down, put it in your journal, make it a part of your conversation with your family. Acknowledge every day that you made it. And in closing, here's what I want to do. I'm so grateful that we're here, but there are some family members who are struggling right now, and Miss Lola is on, and I don't want to speak out of turn, but they're members of her family that has been ill, and we pray for them, and we ask God to cover them. I have a best friend who was in ICU for over a week, and thank God I got a call from her on Saturday, and she is out of there, and she's still in the hospital, but she is doing well, thank God. Was only one step away from a respirator, but now she is doing much better. So we all have, so all of us who know someone or families who are struggling right now, you know, we just send up a group prayer and just ask for their covering and know that folks are thinking about them. And then lastly, I'm going to say, if there is one act of kindness, I'm not talking about anything huge, money or whatever, but if that's the case, yes. Is there one thing you can do this day? Because remember, tomorrow we don't know about. Is there one thing you can do today, right now, when you get off of this live, one simple act of kindness that you can do before you go to bed tonight for someone else? I'm going to encourage you to do that. It might just be picking up the phone and calling someone who needs to hear a good voice, a kind voice, a soft, gentle voice, someone to say, I'm thinking about you. That's been one of my awakenings during this pandemic, was that I needed to stop and pick up the phone a little bit more. I'm on the phone all day, but to pick up the phone with an intention to call someone who may not be expecting a call from me, to simply say, I'm thinking about you and I'm wishing you well and I'm wishing your family well. If you can do that today or something similar, some one act of kindness today, I would encourage you to do so. You've already done one. You joined me here tonight on this live, and I appreciate you and I thank you. And I really do honor the time that you take to get on this live every Monday for 26 weeks. Yesterday, we did a calculation and over 15,000 views for this Monday Night Live. 15,000 views. That means that we've shared it. You have shared it. And I so thank you for that, for hitting that share button and sharing this with others. And as of yesterday, we calculated over 15,000 views. And that was not the intention when we started. This was simply, let's come together and spend some time together. Since we're sheltered in anyway, can we just encourage each other? So I'm thanking you, those of you who have been on once or twice or 3 times, or some of you who have been here from the very beginning when the technology was just almost foreign to me, but you hung in there. I thank you so very much. And I love you. Have a good rest of your evening. And until next Monday, God bless you. And I look forward to getting your stories. Okay? Bye-bye. Have a great night. Thank you all. Hey, Charla. And Sharon, Miss Sharon, how are you? So thank you, everybody. I really appreciate you. Thank you. Love you a lot. And Brandis will play us out. Thank you, Marsha. Good night, Miss Tracy. Love you guys on purpose, as Charlene would say. Have a good night. Bye-bye.